Welcome to We Create. My name is Whitney with the Meridian Library District, and I'm going to show you how to make gummy bears today, homemade gummy bears. I found Miss Gabby's video about making cookies, and I was jealous, and I wanted to make something that was something you could eat. So I chose to do gummy bears. It's actually really simple. You only need a few ingredients to make them and a few tools that can help you out. So I'm going to show you the tools and stuff that you're going to need to make it, and then I'm going to switch over to the video of how I actually made them, and we can see how they turn out together. So the first thing that I did get, I went on Amazon and I got these little gummy bear molds, and it comes with two of these, and then it comes with this little dropper thing here to help you put the gummy bear things in. So you can kind of see there's still some gummy stuff in it because I didn't clean it yet, but this was $6.99 when I did purchase it on Amazon, so it wasn't too bad. But I also don't want to make you go purchase something. So if you don't have this and you don't feel like you want to buy something separate for it, I was looking up other ways that people have made like little gummies. They won't be bear shaped, but you could use like an ice cube tray. If you've seen like the little popsicle shaped things, like I have one where we made popsicle shaped like pineapples. So that would work too. You can make them bite sized. You can make giant gummies. You can do kind of whatever you want, really. Just whatever you have around the house too. You don't have to go out and buy a gummy bear mold, but they're pretty fun. So I did. So you'll need that or some kind of mold. For the ingredient part though, what they're actually made out of is I have this Jello mix. Super cheap, super easy, a 3-ounce mix. There's all kinds of flavors. I was seeing that there was like the Sonic slushy flavors like cherry limeade and like the green apple, which is my favorite, but I just kind of kept it simple and I chose one of these. So 3-ounce package. If you get the bigger ones, make sure when you're measuring that you just do the 3 ounces because it's going to mess up our measurements if you get the bigger ones. So 3 ounces of the Jello mix, and then you're going to get the plain gelatin. So this is kind of what it looks like. It's right next to the other Jello mix, so you'll be able to find it pretty easy. It comes with 5 packs, and you're only going to need 2 to make, a batch of it. So it comes with these little packages here, and you're going to need 2 of them as well. And then all you're going to need is 1/3 cup of water, and then that's the ingredients to make the gummy bears. So once you have all that, what you're going to do is you're going to need a saucepan of some sort, and you're going to put all of that in there. And then I would recommend for these gummy bears, they do, with the mold, they don't stick very much. But if you're using something different or if you're worried that they're going to get sticky, the recipe I was looking at says to use cornstarch. So if you put cornstarch on the molds before and then after, it helps them not to stick as much. I didn't think you really needed it that much, but I would do it just in case. I didn't have cornstarch, so I actually used powdered sugar, which is similar to cornstarch. So that worked just fine for me. And it made them a little bit sweeter, which I was okay with because like who doesn't want things to be a little bit sweeter? So that worked for me. Definitely try it, especially if you don't have like the silicone mold thing and you're using something different. Definitely try to do it so it doesn't stick as much. So I'm actually now going to switch over to the video on how to make it, and then you'll see that, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pour in the Jello flavoring of your choice. This one's blueberry, so it's going to be very blue. And then we're going to pour the 2 packets of just normal gelatin, so 2 of these little packets. And then after that, we're going to pour the 1/3 cup of water. See, that really blue. And then we're going to make sure we're turning on our stove to medium heat. And we're just going to stir this until it gets to not like quite a boil, but it kind of boils a little bit for like 30 seconds or so. You just want it all to dissolve, like all the sugars to dissolve. So once it starts to slightly boil and bubble, like I said, you don't want it to be like super boiling and bubbling. And the reason you don't want that is because the thicker it gets, the harder it is to pour into any of the molds, and it's going to set really fast. And then it's going to be hard to make actual gummies. And you'll kind of see, you can see on the sides here, it's starting to get kind of sticky and stringy. So I think we're pretty much dissolved. And when you're doing this, you kind of want to whisk the whole time, or at least watch it really, really hard. And if you don't have a whisk, just use a spoon. No big deal. So yeah, looks very blue, looks very dissolved. There's a bunch of bubbles now. And now I'm going to transfer it over, and we're going to fill our little molds. Okay. So here's our little molds that I talked about. I did dust these ones with powdered sugar. Like I said before, if you have cornstarch, do that. But all I had was powdered sugar, so that's what I did. You don't necessarily have to, because I found that like they don't really stick that much when they come out. but it's just for safety, just in case. So I'm going to use our little dropper here. I'm going to fill it up with the Jell-O. Pro tip, I wouldn't fill it all the way, and do not turn this upside down. Keep it down. As soon as you turn it upside down, the heat and everything causes it to just splurt out, and you do not want that. So what you want to do is just carefully fill the molds, because if you don't, it's just going to get everywhere and it makes it super hard to get out. I already learned that the hard way from my first time doing it. I mean, as fun as that was, I definitely would not recommend it again. So you're just going to fill up all the gummy bears. And one of these packets basically fills up 2 of the gummy bear mold, maybe 2.5. If I had 3, I only had the 2, so I just did the 2. And you want to make sure it's not just a bunch of bubbles too, just like I did with this one. But yeah, all you're going to do is just kind of go and carefully fill them with the little mold. Like I said, if you don't have this operation, you don't have to use this. I would just be careful with like a little spoon you can do. If you decide not to use the mold and you decide to do like an ice cube tray or something like that, just carefully pour it in there. It is very hot, so make sure that you have like a parent with you or just a grown-up if you're a kid and you want to do it, or just make them do it for you, you know, whichever ones you want. So once they're full, kind of skipped ahead here because I didn't want you to watch me fill them all up because it's really boring. But once they're full, you're going to transfer them to the fridge, and you're going to let them sit in the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then once they're set, we're going to do a light coating of the powdered sugar on top here to help them further not stick to each other. So I will see you guys in about 15-20 minutes. So it's been about 20 minutes. I let them go a little bit longer, maybe like 23 minutes. And now I have just a bowl of powdered sugar, and I have like one of these little brushes, like they're for like barbecues and stuff, to base things, make it easier to brush on. You don't have to do that. You can just use your fingers, or you can, like I said, use a spoon. But they tell you to kind of brush the back of them. It's okay if you kind of use a lot. Like I said, I had powdered sugar. The original recipe I saw says cornstarch. If you have either, just do it to be safe, to help them not stick together. Because these ones, unlike the ones like you get at the store and stuff, they don't have as much like preservatives and other things to keep them from getting sticky or keep them from melting too much. So these guys will melt if you leave them in the hot sun, or if you just leave them at room temperature for so long. So you definitely want to eat them as soon as you can, but you can keep them in like a bowl or a Ziploc bag with a little bit more cornstarch and powdered sugar. That'll keep them lasting a little bit longer. Okay, so now that we got all those brushed, I'm gonna pop one out. Let's see how we did. Oh, look at, there he is, little gummy bear. And if it looks really cool, super blue, but yeah, we did it. That's how you make a little gummy bear. Super, super easy. So yeah, that's how you make gummy bears. It's actually pretty easy, pretty simple. You know, you need some adult supervision if you're a kid, but I think they're pretty fun and they're easy and they taste really good. I have a bowl of all of the ones that I made earlier. If you're going to put them in a bowl, or if you're not going to eat them all right away, like I probably will here in a second, you can put them in like a plastic bag. If you do that, that's when I suggest you use like the cornstarch or the powdered sugar. That'll keep them from sticking together and getting clumpy. And also these are not like the ones that you buy at the store. There's a lot less preservatives and ways to keep them from melting. So they will melt if you leave them in like hot temperatures or even at room temperature for too long, they're going to melt. So I suggest if you're not going to eat them right away and you want to keep them for a while, put them in a plastic bag with a little cornstarch or the powdered sugar, and then put them in the fridge. And then they'll stay pretty solid and they won't melt and stick together. But they're really good, super fun, easy. I hope you guys enjoyed this create video, and I will see you guys next time.